Hi, we're going to take a look at replacing a screen on this iPad thingamajig. It is completely rooted, as you can see. It's just cracked, and so you can see the crack marks, but it's cracked all the way through. And the LCD underneath seems to work fine. Sorry about the reflections. Not much I can do about it. And it does random things like this. So the touch screen's obviously gone. It's just like randomly thinking that it's touching certain parts of the screen, and it's completely unusable, and that's what you get when you have kids. So yeah, this is the only Apple-y, fruity product that we actually own, and we have it for reasons of certain apps and things like that. Anyway, for those playing along at home, it is an A1822, I believe that is. So, anyway, I got one of the a replacement screen on eBay. They're very cheap. I don't know who it comes from, just some One Hung Low brand. It's obviously got the touchscreen interface up here. You can actually get ones that have something to do with the button or something like that, new button assembly or something like that. I don't know. I've just got replacement screens, so we'll see how it goes. My first time doing this. It looks like it comes with some adhesive strips which you have to put on. So yeah, please don't laugh at my attempt at replacing this. But anyway, yeah, I'm not a Rossmann Repair Group, that's for sure. Anyway, so yeah, that's really sharp and jaggy. So I've got to take out. That'll be nasty to take out all that glass. So it's going to go everywhere, I suspect. You can see the impact point on that where it actually shattered, and yeah, it's not going to come off nicely. Anyway, the whole idea is they've got adhesive right around here, so we'll use the hot air gun to melt the adhesive around the outside, and then we'll pry it up. The screen actually came with all the requisite things, even though I already had these. Anyway, we'll give it a go. Going to use my quick hot air gun. You want to set it to minimum temperature. In this case, minimum is 100. That's more than good enough to melt the adhesive, or loosen the adhesive, so we can get in there and actually separate it. And I'll just use full airflow as well, and just a wide-ish tip. Let's give it a go. Now I'm actually going to start on this edge down here, the non-broken one, because, well, I want to try and get as much of this off as I can, and then we'll deal with the broken glass later. I don't want to be dealing with that first. I want to get most of the glass panel off. So I have no experience, no feel for this. I don't know how long to leave it, so I'll just suck it and see. I don't know if you can see, large crack right through there like that. So this isn't going to come off in one piece, that's for sure. Might just take it a bit slower like this. I've heard it's a really tight fit. We can't get in there with the plastic separator, it's too close, so we need a sharper kind of blade instrument. I'll get the camera out of the way, hang on. And bingo, I was finally able to get that under there. It's just a little bit tricky, but now we should be able to get under there with the plastic one, because you don't want to use your metal, you don't want to cut any cables or anything like that in there. Once again, my damn camera's in the way, but the whole idea is to use this as a way to pry this up and then get the plastic separator under there. Yeah. And there we go. Once we have the plastic separator under there, I find it pays to like have it on the edge of the bench here so that you can work along like that, and a combination of this with the heat gun at the same time should be able to let us work our way around. A little bit more heat here, so it cools down pretty quick. Big crack going through there like that, so this isn't going to come off in one piece. Yeah, I do have one of these suction things too, but you shouldn't need that. There's some extra heat. There we go. She's starting to come off now, and it's hit the point where it's cracked there, so I might heat up that a bit, but yeah, it may not. Almost lost it. Yeah. Anyway, it's slow process. Not sure what's going to happen with this button here, because as I said, never done this before. No idea about the internal construction. These iPad thingies. I lost it. And it's just a matter of going along and heating her up section by section, because you don't want to do the whole heat up the whole thing, because by the time you get around to it, it would have cooled down. Okay, I am finding that, yeah, at 100 degrees with this particular quick iron at full airflow, stuff like this, you have to leave it there for a good, you know, sort of like 10 seconds on an area, something like that, to, you know, if you use a higher capacity heat gun, higher temperature, it might do the trick quicker. But yeah, if there is too much force, then apply more heat. Basically, it means you haven't softened it enough if you can't get there, because it's pretty easy once you've to get along with this thing and lift it once you've loosened that glue. So if there's too much force required, it means you haven't loosened it enough. And there we go. That comes off quite nicely now. Once again, this is not my day job. This is my first time doing this. Maybe I'm just not being medieval enough, being too cautious. Apply more heat, Dave. I can see everyone screaming at me now. You know, I haven't set the temperature right. I haven't set the airflow right. Then my nozzle's too small, etc., etc., etc. Yeah, okay. Knock yourself out in the comments. There we go. It actually becomes pretty easy once you've softened that. There you go. That looks like some of the existing glue, is it? And you've got to be careful at that point. I should have looked at that, but yeah, obviously that's where our cable is, and you can see that on the replacement, so I should have known that's where the cable is. Just got to bypass that a little bit. Be very careful. Okay, I'm really starting to get the hang of this now. Oh, more heat up the top there. But it does actually, these cracks, you can see these crack marks down here and here, it actually bypassed those no problem. And this is where we might need a sharp razor blade at this point. I don't expect this to get all the way under there. Yeah, our glass is going to start coming off in shards. Be very careful. Maybe I should be wearing, you know, some sort of protective glove or something perhaps, but yeah, this is not pretty. But anyway, no, it's okay. More heat along this edge. We'll keep going. Oh, look at that. That's not too shabby. Is it sharp enough to get under there? No, I think a razor blade might be a better go there. Okay. Don't laugh at my choice of razor blade. This may not be the best option. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to have to take off this part, tackle this part separately at the end, I think. I'll just leave that for later. I'll go around and get the rest of it now. And you can see this part, I think it's because the angle of the crack, I'm not going to be able to get under there, so I might have to get my metal tool in there first and lift up, or maybe, you know, maybe even, yeah, start from this end and go backwards, because I don't think you can come that direction onto a cracked angle like that. So yeah, we've come a gutter there. And sure enough, yeah, you can help that. You can help that along. And we've come a gutter again. So once again, I've got to get in there and just give that... Ah, there's another crack right there. Jeez. Got to give that a helping hand. So anyway, that's cooling off. More heat required. Oh, look, it's got... I'm not sure if you can see that, but it's like cracked. So pushing the brown stuff up a pointy hill here. Yeah, it just gets real tricky at this point. You sort of got to do it maybe piece by piece. I might actually be better off just starting from here, coming back around like that now, I think. Unfortunately, when it's like got like dozens of little cracks all the way along here, anytime you try and get in there and prise it up, it just cracks it more. There's just, it's not like when you're at the larger uncracked sections around here. It was easy to do it, but when you've got when you've got these dozens and dozens of cracks, it gets real nasty. And as I said, they're all in the wrong direction to pull it this way, and this thing's seen better days already. Anyway, it's just the cheap-ass one that came with it. I do have a higher quality one. Yeah, if this screen wasn't cracked, this job would have been done 10 minutes ago. Would have just come off in one hit, and Bob's your uncle. But Yeah, this is just, it's real nasty when they're shattered like this. Your plastic separator doesn't do a huge amount at this point. Got to get the sharper tool in there. But either way, oh, that's not pretty. Wow. And because this top and bottom edges are thicker, they've got more glue on them. Really got to watch your fingers here. You know, shards everywhere. It's terrible, Muriel. At this point, I'm having a bit more success with getting it vertical like this and just prying it off. Maybe that's not the best way. I'm sure everyone's screaming at me, but... And I get the feeling because our connector's down there and all our cracking was up in that corner, it's probably like... Because I think you got to fold it out like this so then you can access the connectors in there. This is like probably the worst corner. You probably could have got the cracking in. So, it's frustrating. I'm getting there. And yeah, sure enough, there was just one like really annoying sticking point, no pun intended, right over in that corner. So now we flip it out, and sure that took a bit longer than it should have, but now, like there's little shards left here and all sorts of places. So we've got to get all the sticky stuff off, all the existing adhesive. Got to take all that off. Once again, you would heat it up, and that'll help with taking, or you could just probably peel it off. Maybe a little bit more heat there, and also these little bits of glass up here. Once again, you would heat those up and try and scrape them off with a razor blade or a, one of these type of tools. And anyway, that is my first attempt at doing that, and it's nasty to do these cracked glass ones. You really have to make sure you vacuum up all the glass, and I probably got a bit stuck in my finger. Probably should have worn some sort of protective glove, but yeah, that's really annoying. And yep, for the adhesive, you can just peel that off. No wuckers to reveal some of the screws for the rest of the whatnot. Oh, there we go, that's the button assembly. Got to be careful, I've got to reuse that. I'm going to have to take that out and reuse that button assembly. I think you can actually buy some like replacement screens fitted with the button assembly, but the one I could find locally didn't have that, and anyway, seems a waste. I don't know how we get that out, but we're going to have to get it out and replace it. I think it's a button, or is it, yeah, it's got some other stuff in there, does it? I don't know about these iPad things. That should come off. Zippity-doo-dah. I have to be careful because this actually contains some shards. Can't let my finger slip because I was actually holding onto a piece of shard there. That's not good. Now, as for this, you can see that that's all glass still stuck on there. So, it might be worth heating that up a bit more. But no, I got it. Winner chicken dinner. This really is very messy. Don't know if you can see it, but there's tons of glass shards everywhere. And I think it really is going to be best just to reheat up this and then try and pull it off in one go. Got to be careful with the little camera there. Might even want to Kapton tape mask that off. I'm not that fussed. What you really need to get is a piece of lead-in tape. So it might be worth trying to take off a bit of glass there and get that tape. And once you have that, you can pull it up. Sorry, I'm going to have to do it left-handed to show you. Those glass shards, horrible. Oh no, I think you should scrape under there at the same time. Wow. Yeah, it's not pretty. I bet a scraping tool, if you had one, the flat edge, you could get in there along there without having to go over the lip if you didn't want to damage the lip. But yeah, my care factor for that is 0. I don't recommend this. I recommend getting maybe a second hand. But anyway, I did it. Winner chicken dinner. I was splitting, there's a bit of tape left on there, but that's pretty clean. There's some shards down in there though, so I have to shake those out. But anyway, that's basically job done for taking that off. So that took me like 10 minutes or something, and it was quite painful. But of course, as I said, I don't do this for a living. I've never done this before. It is quite like, you know, once you get experience with them, you do a few, then it'll be quicker and you'd get better at it every time. But anyway, I'm gonna get those shards out now. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, now we have to remove the LCD screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the LCD should just lift out, so then we can access the connections for the touchscreen glass. So our LCD should just lift out. Beauty. Then there's 3 more screws down here by the looks of it to get into this connector assembly when we can get the front glass out. And as you can see, it's all battery for those playing along at home. But I'm sure everyone knows all about the internals of their iPads. I don't have these things, so I don't know. Anyway, there's the LCD connection up the top. So if you wanted to replace the LCD, it's exactly the same process as we've done so far. And that looks like a pretty easy job. That's just an entire separate assembly. So I presume you can just buy the LCD and you can replace it if that's faulty. But of course, there's nothing wrong with our screen. It's just a touch screen. So we've got two little connector jobbies here. Lift those out. Oh, got another one. And that one is a little ribbon assembly. So I'm going to flip that up. And out she comes. And Bob's your uncle. Look at that. Glass gone ski. Straight in the bin. It's all still got all the cracked crap on it. Wait, hang on. Can't throw that in the bin yet. I've got to button assembly, because that little connector that we just took off last, that's for all this button assembly. It just lifts off like that. What's that thing? I've got no idea what that is. Well, there's actually an awful lot on here. Look at that ribbon cable. There's tons of stuff. I thought it was just a button, but there's all sorts of things on the front here. So it doesn't look easy to get off. Maybe I should have ordered the one with the button assembly. Hold on to your hat. I do believe we can actually get up under there and lift this off. I think I've got an adhesive pad here and here by the looks of it. So if we get all that off, I think the whole thing is going to come out. It's just a matter of getting under there. Spud just seems a bit thick. Yeah, we might be able to do this. She's coming up. Yeah, that piece over the top. Very stubborn looking, just like a back brace thing for the button. So, you know, oh, it's got a little contactor in there. There you go. That's kind of important. And then we should be able to pop that out. And there you go. Bob's your uncle. So there you go. That, I believe, is all part of some whiz-bang touch sensor technology. There's actually a metal can under there. There's stuff under a metal. There's a BGA under a metal can in there. There's something else in there. And is that a microphone or something? I don't know. Is there a hole in the front? I don't know. Look, I don't use an iPad. So anyway, now we've got our new glass. Got to take all the protective films off. And then we assemble it back in the reverse order. We have to put our little touch button back. So you've got to stick the new adhesive sheets back on there and then peel those back off so that we can stick it back on. Beauty. The button assembly back in. You can physically feel the click on the other side, so that's a good thing. Means that little metal cap there is aligned with the tactile switch. Just give that a wiper dipe before it goes back in. I don't think I've touched it, but you never know. And as I said, just peel off the adhesive stuff. And then I've just got to put all those connectors back in there and she'll be right. And then the plate back on, of course, and we'll be ready to install the screen back in. And then we'll probably want to install the screen, test the screen out and the touch screen before we actually finally stick this thing on. In fact, I probably shouldn't have taken the adhesive strips off at this point. It meant we could have folded it back and tested it. Oh, trickiest bugger there. It's the little flat flex. You've got to make sure it pushes all the way in before you flip the bar back down. There we go. Alright, so we've got the LCD connector assembly reinserted, the captive metal cover in there with the 3 screws. I'll screw in the LCD like this. Oh, bit of spit, gotta clean that off. Okay, I'm going to attempt to power this back up before I put the screen. I assume you can power it up. Screen works, no wuckers. And yep, touch screen seems to work a treat. Does the home button work? Yep. Haha, winner winner, chicken dinner. Ready to just flip that over and stick her on. I think it's all clean, or clean enough. Good enough. This is not going to a paying customer. Oh, it seems to be an issue here with the connector assembly. With the ribbon cable. Not sure what the deal is. Let me try and sort that out. I'll get back to you. No, it's all good. I just had to squeeze the cable assembly back down in there, so go around the outside. Oh, I didn't test the camera, but I'm assuming that works. Haven't peeled off the front yet. Anyway, let's power that back on. We've got our fruity logo, and there we go. Yep, our touchscreen works. It's reinstalled. Our home button works. I don't care whatever touch sensory technology, whatever crap was on there. Where's the camera? Looks like it still works. Focus, you bastard. There you go. Oh, what a Bobby Dazzler. That works a treat. Take a photo. Yep, cool. So there you have it, one repaired iPad. That's my first iPad repair, or anything repair. And, well, yeah, that took a bit longer than I expected. I was a bit careful. It's a real pain in the butt with all that cracked glass. But once again, this is an experience thing. With experience, you would, get used to doing this, and you'd have the job done in like 10 minutes or something like that, whereas it probably took me like, half an hour of mucking around, and I got to shoot video as well, but just being extra cautious in what I'm doing and stuff like that. But that was an easy fix. I think the screen cost me like $20 or something, and that has restored the iPad. So winner winner, chicken dinner. Ah, beauty. If you want to know who that is, that's Dizzy Dog. Anyway, if you liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And as always, you can discuss down below and tell me how I did this all wrong. Go for it down in the comments because, yeah, this ain't my day job. Catch you next time.